Hello and welcome to Mastering Mediocrity Music Reviews. I am Jeff.
I'm Ben.
And we are here today to review Starset and their album Divisions. Okay, so starting off, Starset was founded, I believe, in Salem, Ohio in 2013. The lead singer, I think his name
Where's Salem, Ohio?
I don't know. Not certain. I think it's like
right
even like northeast of Canton, but like not like far northeast. Okay. It's in the northeastern quadrant.
I'm picking up.
He was an OU mechanical engineer master's graduate, and he loved astronomy, which is, I mean, if you couldn't tell in the album,
I couldn't
that he liked,
but I could tell that it was like space themed, or it seemed like I got that kind of vibe from it.
Yeah, futuristic. Type, definitely futuristic type.
It is like it's like southeast of Cleveland.
Okay, so very northeast actually. So mechanical engineer, likes astronomy. I think it shows to a pretty good degree. And if you look at the first two albums, there's definitely a lot of that theme going on. And even with their live shows.
Have you seen them live?
Yes, several times.
Are you a big fan?
I'm a huge fan of Starset. I really enjoy Starset.
Okay.
I won't say I'm a huge fan though, but yeah, I like them. They kind of started off in the free concert type role. They weren't like a internet sensation that got popular on the radio. They got popular on the radio, but I think they were like very much a grassroots effort, which probably most bands are. But they were doing the free shows at like Bogart's,
I got
probably like High Street. Nobody paid to see them the first time that they did a gig.
They're playing at Get a Fest or whatever. Not Get a Fest, some street show or street fair or whatever.
But one of their
I get you.
One of their shticks was they have like a VR show that goes on during their performance,
so people can wear headsets if they want or whatever.
They can look on their phone live, and there's an augmented reality overlay. So I should have said augmented reality, not VR. It's an AR, augmented reality thing that goes on. So like it syncs to their music, and there's a spaceship flying around. And I actually couldn't get it to work at the show that I went to. Like, it was very disappointing. Because someone was like, the person who told me about this band was like, you should check them out, and they have this cool thing. Make sure to download the app beforehand. And like I loaded it, and it like just was like nothing.
Yeah.
So there's some gimmickness, yes, to the band, because they are so themed.
That's fine.
But
they're not out there in robot outfits or anything, are they?
They will do the astronaut suits. Now this last one in Divisions, we went to their first concert of the tour. They had just released Divisions, I'm pretty sure, and it was at Bogart's. And they had this like kind of like spooky futuristic look to them. Like they looked like Grim Reapers from the future.
Okay.
That's what they look like. It was kind of...
I didn't look up their pictures
it was
at all.
Weird thing. They've gone through the live show that we went to in Lexington at the UK College Theatre or whatever. I forget what it's called. But they were definitely like astronauts.
Okay.
And that was... I forget what album that was. But definitely astronauts. Very, very space themed.
Fair enough.
So I like them a lot. I've seen them in a few places, and I think that their songs are just very singable, almost every single one of them.
Okay.
We can just dive in. Why don't you lead for us?
All right. Before we get started, then let's take this shot.
That's what I was expecting.
Knob Creek.
Yeah, Knob Creek, baby.
All right, buddy.
What did you give this again?
Cheers, mate. No, this is
cheers, mate. What score did you give it?
That was.
You gave it a 7.25.
That's not. That shot.
Hit my dangler.
Yeah, that's a bad shot.
It was good. No, it's still tasty.
Oh, it's a little strong.
Yeah, well, we're following up Knob Creek with a Knob Creek Coca-Cola mix. Like, you're not really escaping what you were wanting to escape from. Oh, I'm tearing up.
That's okay.
Okay, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Lead us.
How do you? Well, okay. You want me to start?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Well, then let's. Do you want to go song by song?
You already did a Snapchat of this first song.
So the first song is A Brief History of the Future, which I think is kind of like a pretty cool title.
Mm-hmm.
Just, history of the future.
Not music.
No, it's just a spoken word with some ambiance.
There's
some
a guy
sounds.
talking. It goes along the lines of
He's
lived in a society where he's not been able to be an individual.
It makes it the easiest way. I was thinking about it as I was driving here and listening to it. It sounds like The Matrix. The easiest way to explain it is like The Matrix is like everybody lives in like a virtual world, or what was that Pixar movie? Was it WALL-E?
WALL-E.
Where people are like plugged in or living.
I saw that entire movie and I absorbed nothing from it. I absorbed nothing from it.
Same.
Yeah.
I think there's a little robot. That's all I fucking remember.
Yeah. Spaceships, time travel, maybe.
I get the vibe that this album is kind of describing like this dystopian future where machines have maybe taken over, or where people
technology is very prescient.
Right. Yeah, and people are plugged into it, and you can live in.
He does sound like a lot like he does. He didn't know he could unplug, and then he has unplugged now.
Right. It seems like there's a virtual reality, or it sounded like it could have been written this year, like with Facebook's metaverse or Meta's metaverse, and,
right?
That type of shit. That's honestly what it sounds like. The worst version of that.
Okay, I want to just point something out to what you've said. After the song Telekinetic, there's a song called Stratosphere that speaks of where like he unplugs, kind of to a degree. You have to read into it. He unplugs from the Matrix and then realizes like how divided we are. And
are you talking about the lyrics? Because I didn't look up the lyrics.
The lyrics, yeah, but they in that song they really make it a point to say what they're saying, and the album name is Divisions. And I think while you're right about what you've said, I also feel like it's pointing out these differences in people that exist that don't have to. Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's a little bit of both.
On any of that, but yeah.
There's a little bit of both. No, like your assessment of the first part is very accurate. But all right, so what did you give this intro?
I give it
non-musical.
a 6.
Okay.
I give it a 6. I can't get something that.
It's still a high score, I would say.
This is the problem with an intro.
Yeah.
If the intro doesn't, not if it doesn't. How do I want to say this? This intro in the background, you hear it building. There, it just seems like the pressure is building and building and building. And I'm thinking, hell yeah, we are about, like, it is about to release, and as it releases, it's going to be that first note of what would be the second song.
Yes.
And it's just going to be like, pow! And it just kind of, the pressure releases. Literally, I think it's like a literal pressure release valve.
The first
sound,
20 seconds of the next song, Manifest,
is also like an intro.
Pretty slow. Yeah.
And so I was really, that affected the score of this.
Like Verklighten, that song was just kind of, it didn't summarize, it didn't even really connect, but then Arrival hits, and that makes it better but not better because it didn't summarize anything.
Right.
This intro does.
At least it brings you into the album, tells you kind of like, hey, we're about to listen to a sort of concept album that's dystopian and future technology related in nature.
Just wants to make that connection immediately. You have a good idea of what you're going to be introduced to.
Yeah, it's like cool.
But you wanted that big hit.
Right, and it just didn't do it, so that kind of bumped that one down. But Manifest
as a song
was cool.
What'd you give it?
I give it a 7.
Do we want to reveal or do we just want to go through it?
Yeah, let's just go through it.
I like that.
We can say it.
I also gave it a 7.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm asking, how many times did you listen to this album? I mean, you've probably listened to it.
Man, I've listened to this album many times already. I listened to it like 5 or 6 times this week. Yeah.
That's about where I was at.
Really?
Yeah. I liked it a lot more than other albums that we've done.
Yeah, Hurt's tough. It's such a narrow.
Well, yeah. But even but there were definitely parts of it that I didn't like, and there were parts of every song that I didn't like.
I have a lot to say about that particular part. Yeah. Not a lot.
But like every song had had some sort of, I'm just gonna say broad, like we're saying, the whole album has like kind of a broad theme, and then each album or each song in between has like a sort of outro, intro that kind of brings you back into the theme, atmospheric. Maybe there's a spoken word or
one there's just breathing,
right,
and,
but
and
there's something.
ambient sounds
Right.
of something that probably isn't going the way you would want it to.
Right, but there's always something to kind of like break the songs, which I don't love. But then
Because
I
they
didn't
commit
realize-
to it. Because they commit to it, it adds to the album
does.
and
That- I
like
don't
this
mind.
mystique to it.
that part I don't
That's
mind.
how I
Overall-
feel.
Overall,
Yeah.
I don't mind, but what I don't like consistently, I wish they'd have done it differently because it is on every song. The verses
Some to a
are
larger degree on
quiet,
some, yeah.
are quiet, or clean guitars, quiet, or clean vocals, and then the verses, or I'm sorry, the choruses and breakdowns and bridges and stuff are heavy, super catchy. There's a lot of fun in them, but the verses, I'm just like, sometimes it works. Sometimes I think they could have done something else, but I don't know what they could have done more aggressive. I don't know how you could have sang differently. I don't know how they could have done it different musically.
When they have something to say, they go slower and quieter.
Mm-hmm.
And every song has it to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're just like, just get to your heart. You do the hard part so good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a problem that even like Nothing More had. Whereas like they had these toned down songs that went into their metalcore like central theme.
Yeah.
But they didn't explore it enough. Like, just give me some songs that are every bit as hard as you can go.
Yeah.
Be a power metal song.
Not even,
But not that.
But not a
But
power metal
just
song, but like
be
do
your-
the power metal formula.
Yeah, be your 9 out of 10 for the entire song on at least 2 or 3 songs.
Yeah,
Just to give the album some real flair.
right. Because a lot of this bleeds together. It is all
Yes
very-
and no. Yeah.
I say that, but I also don't necessarily agree with it.
But I understand what you're saying. I get it.
It's like every song has a low part, has a high, or high energy part. I'll say a low energy, high energy.
This
comparatively.
band has a lane, and I will tell you, this album especially dives into a lane and stays there
Mhm.
because they're a hard rock band at their core that did digitization, and with this album, they did digitized hard rock. I don't like. Did you have a summary of what you think they are? Because I call them
No.
like futuristic industrial hard rock. Because I
No.
can't call them metal except for on one song,
No,
and it's not even then metal.
I don't. At no point did I think the descriptor of metal would be appropriate.
No.
The thing that kept coming to mind was probably like 2014, 15. Remember that song by AWOL Nation, Sail?
Yeah.
I kept getting that type of vibe.
Yeah. I can
It's
definitely see that. There's like heavy digitization
Yeah,
done
like-
in a pop fashion.
Yeah. But like this is like
Hard.
obviously this is like totally different, but there are definitely similarities where the verses in that song are kind of quiet.
There is
or,
a
they kinda get heavier.
super popular song of a very like melodic, soft nature.
Of theirs.
No, that exists where it's like
Sure.
pop music heavily digitized. Most of the musical work is digitized. It was a guy who did an album in his parents' basement, not very old, a young guy,
Huh.
and he was kind of a shut-in, and he did this album and then submitted it, and it like became an overnight rage. I forget. I want to say there's something like with like a butterfly forest. It's really.
Never heard of it.
I'll have to look it up. I'll put it in the comments, I promise. But they have this heavy digitization that exists in this album that is sampled in the previous albums. This one really drives it home. Even their concert was like them trying to tell a story. They had this album with video excerpts of things happening in a semi-dystopian future.
Mhm.
So
Question.
they just really drove that deep this time.
When you saw them live, did they play songs? I mean, however many. I checked. You said they came out when
13 was their
first album
when they were
or whatever.
when they were created.
So, but I think this is only like their second or third album.
It's the third of four.
Third or fourth. When you saw them, did they only play songs from this album?
No, the first one, this album didn't exist. So we went to the the last one I went to.
Said
they
you saw
played
them on this tour.
Mostly songs from this.
That's because I was
album.
gonna say if in their live show they're telling telling a story. I would imagine that like, hey, well, let's kind of keep it with.
Yeah, they hit like the top 3 songs of the previous albums, and then mostly this, which was kind of disappointing because, like I said, they had just released that album maybe 2 days, or it may have even been the date of the album release. So it was like, I don't know any of these songs.
Do you remember when we went and saw Dragon Force in Cleveland? We went and saw Dragon Force with Leaves.
Protest
Eye.
the Hero too. They were
Leaves Eyes was with Blind Guardian, but yeah, I don't remember who was opening them with them. But
I don't remember
they had
them
just put out an album, and I can't remember the song. It had to have been Through the Fire and Flames because.
Yes,
because we were.
It got insane.
Because we were. This is not one of those like we were fans first, but we were Dragon Force fans
very early.
Before
they were playing at a small 1,400 person venue in Cleveland.
Yeah, and they had just put the album out, or I don't even remember if it was out yet, or they had just done a single or whatever. But he was like singing the song, blah 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 blah, and they're like, "Sing it for us," and then he holds the microphone up, and nobody knew the words. The song had just come out like 3 or 4 days prior. Like man, I haven't listened to this song enough to know, but oh god, it was so fucking funny.
Ends up
it was the funniest fucking thing.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird because it ends up on like Guitar Hero 3.
Yeah, whatever,
and it ends up being a huge hit.
Yeah,
but we didn't know.
No, at the time it was nothing. It was fucking nothing. It was just that band that plays stupid fast, releasing another stupid fast song, singing about stupid shit.
But it was even stupider and faster than. Well, no, it was just faster. It is an awesome song.
Oh yeah.
Someplace like
yeah. I love Dragon Force.
It'll persist through history just because of what it is.
I'll put it like this: after 2007, I haven't listened to anything Dragon Force put out, but like those 2007, maybe 2008, and prior Dragon Force stuff is fucking great. In the dumbest, campy, hey, like we're gonna do power metal at 11.
I don't think you were
so fun.
as big of a fan, but to me, when I think of Dragon Force, I also think of Metalocalypse.
Oh yeah,
dude, and that is gonna end up on the wheel at some point because that is a definitive album for me.
The Death Clock. Is that their album?
Shit,
Death Apocalypse or some shit. I don't
remember. Dude, so awesome.
Yeah. All right, so we got super off track. So we're gonna try and fucking fly through the rest of this album. We made it to the second song, the first real song. I gave it a 7. Jeff gave it a 7. Yeah. We're gonna go right on to fucking song number 2, Echoes. Echo. I gave it a 7.
You gave it a 7. All right. I was like, I don't like this song as much as Manifest. I give it a 6.5.
Okay.
It's a little bit softer.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be harder.
This was the first one where I was like, obviously the first one, where I was like, hey, they seem to be doing quiet, loud. I was like, okay, I'll let you do it.
Quiet, loud breakdown.
Yeah.
Maybe. You maybe kind of get a breakdown.
Quiet verse, loud chorus.
Yeah.
Or high energy chorus. And I was like, all right, let's see what happens. And then, as we were saying earlier, they basically do that in every song.
Yeah, it is the formula that they kind of go with.
I thought it was a pretty catchy song, and I dug it.
What's after this song?
Where the Skies End.
It's Where the Skies End.
Yeah. Right off the bat, I was like, this song title is cool as fuck.
Yeah, I like this.
I think the song title is cool. I think the song is kind of like, okay. Not that I think it's bad. I gave it a 7. I like it.
You gave it a 7?
Yeah.
I give it a 6. God. But, okay.
I'm a bigger fan than you are.
No, I have something to say about this album at the end. Okay? Mm-hmm. I gave this one a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
And there is this like pretty cool riff in the song. It starts from the beginning and goes throughout the entire song. And this is where I kind of get to me, they have a nu metal feel, like kind of the Korn formula. Soft, hard, weird kind of beats, but it's not metalcore. They're willing to like play with the sound a little bit. And I like where that's going in general, but I just feel like Manifest has a significant sound after you listen to this album 20 times. I gave it a 7 out of 10, but it like has a little bit more to it than exists in a vacuum listening to it. Maybe even just 6 times.
I thought it was all pretty cool. I thought the song opening was cool. Soft verse, heavy chorus. I thought the electronic elements of the song and the guitars, like the music part of it was like really
the way everything
it's not like,
intersects is good.
It's not like super elaborate or anything like that. It's not like super intricate, but it goes together. It goes really well, like the heavy stuff. But again, another soft, quiet type deal.
We explored a lot of the elements of the songs already, and I said they're very singable. Every single one of these songs is very singable, which is not necessarily true of like power metal.
I've got Perfect Machine.
Sabaton is,
I've got that one stuck in my head a lot. I don't like
that.
it.
Is on purpose.
It's not like my favorite song. It's not like my least favorite, but it's like middle of the pack.
They have this song, the song Perfect Machine, exists on another album, and I'll have to send the song to you, but it's way better than Perfect Machine. And I gave Perfect Machine a 7.5 for the ability to just like hear it in your head.
Okay, I give it a 6.
Lay your heart into my perfect machine. I will tell you what you wanted to like. That song is done very well for the sing-along concert part. And
this whole album has like pretty good sing-along and along-ability.
Yeah, we agree to that because it's melodic and different.
Yeah.
And they have like honestly, they have the name of the song in almost every single one. I think the only one is Solstice, and maybe even that one's in there. I don't know.
I didn't check, but I do. I know what you're saying. I love it when they do that because it's like, okay, that helps me associate songs with the song.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You don't make me guess.
Right.
Yeah.
If the thing that you keep repeating is the song title, I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Sermon of Sorts. Let's say it like 20 times within the first minute.
Oh yeah.
Sermon of Sorts. Yeah. Okay.
And then I think we probably get up to the next. The next song is probably the most memorable song.
Yeah.
Telekinetic. It's not my favorite song.
It's my favorite.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 6.5.
That hurts. It's the hardest song on the album. No. Does that not mean enough to you?
No. This is what I wrote. I wrote, man, this song needs some speakers with really good bass, which I think
you
so.
You didn't wait for the best part of the song.
And I said, and my little earbuds just ain't cutting it. And I said, when this song is heavy, it's really good. When it gets soft, it's just okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's like, this is where I was like, all right, this seems to be the way these guys write music.
Well, this one's unique because they do the skip beat chorus, tella, kinetic. It's like that skip beat, kind of like Wolfpack does in Sabaton's album. Not as well, let's be honest. Not as well. So they do the skip beat.
The production's really good on this.
We'll talk about that too. But the skip beat on this is memorable, and where they get hard, it is the hardest moment on the entire album. Yeah. I think it's the best moment on the album.
It's
just okay.
It takes away.
I disagree on that. Okay. Or like I think it's like it allows the build, and it is the summarization of the album with the hardest part of the album, and that's why it's the best song for me here. But there are songs that get close. And I think when I get to your song, any of these songs, I swear to God, any of these songs could potentially be your favorite song, obviously, minus the ones that you haven't, or that you've already reviewed.
Okay.
But I'm not going to be surprised because all of the next songs, even though we've already said that it all melts together, there is a unique quality to each one of these songs that makes it special. So let's just hit the next one.
The next one is Stratosphere.
Yeah.
I think this might be the lowest rated song I gave on the album for me. There might have been a 4. There is 1 4 on here. Stratosphere, I gave a 5. So this is how it goes, and this happened the first. So when I rate them, I do an initial listen.
Me too.
And go with my gut, give my opinions on that, and then I'll usually do it like a second listen through and see if those initial thoughts are genuine,
valid.
Valid.
Yeah, because there's something to say, like when you taste a sip of wine or alcohol, sometimes that first one isn't what you truly feel.
Right.
And we rate it that way, but we've found another day can completely change.
Or another couple of listens even.
Yep.
And I would say even still, I would probably do it differently. Not differently, but I was like, I listened about halfway through this song, and I was like, I want to skip this. And obviously, the first listen through, I'm going to listen to everything. Yeah. But I was like, I want to skip it through this at about the halfway point. I was like, I want to skip it.
This song is very.
And then there is a little part where you start hearing the Ronald Reagan speech.
Okay.
Talking about if we'd known about aliens in space, who knows what we'd be capable of, or whatever the fuck he says. And then there is
where we unite as a human race. Yes. Yeah.
And then there is like this wicked heavy robot fight breakdown. It is like I think that's the heaviest part of the album. That part.
Okay. Yeah.
That 12 seconds.
Okay. Can I just say Telekinetic has the hardest part of the album, but Stratosphere has the best part of the album. And it is that moment.
Those 12 seconds.
Well, it's the Reagan and those 12 seconds.
Yeah. But I was like, that's everything before that part's skippable. But it's not enough to save the song. It's enough to get it to a 5. But the rest of it, I think, is just kind of blends into the rest of the album. It's unfortunate that part is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And a forgettable song.
So I've said what I've said. That song has the best moment in the album.
Yeah.
5.5.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
It's still singable.
That part lifts the rest of it.
But Stratosphere is just this one note feel song. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It hits it there.
I like it more than my score
suggests.
But
that part's not the song.
Right.
Not the summary of the song.
Right.
It's not the song elevated.
Right.
It is this separate section that exists, and it peaks to a large degree.
Yeah.
But it's not a great song.
No.
Okay, going on to the next song.
Fault
You
Line.
said that was the low point?
Fault Line? No.
Stratosphere.
And you're about to say Fault Line was.
The first listen through this, when I had to say, okay, go ahead.
So I said, originally I thought Stratosphere was a super formulaic song. That was what came into my mind.
Okay.
And then in my head I said, as formulaic as Stratosphere was, this one is more so.
Oh, dude, I didn't say that.
This one more.
Okay,
it's super catchy. I think everything fits. As I on my second listen, I was like, this is a completely fair assessment, but I might give it an 8.
Ooh.
Compared to everything else on the album.
Okay.
I might give it an 8.
My first listen through.
It might be my favorite song.
I love the way that this
review is going. Reminds me of. This is the reason AWOL Nation and Sail came to mind. This song reminds me of that.
The reason I say I like the way this is going is because when you hear this song compared to the rest of the album, this one is the one that's this could be a Shinedown song. It's more formulaic.
Right.
It's more palatable. It's the most palatable song.
Yeah.
I give it a 4 out of 10, and I think it was a snobby reaction.
It is a snobby reaction.
And then guess what happened?
You listened to it a couple more times.
No, I didn't even have to listen to it a couple more times. that evening, Fault Line was in my head. That was the only song that was like, here you are. Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck they said.
No.
Yeah.
And then they end it with like whatever the verse is.
Yeah.
Fault Line, the name of the song.
Yeah.
And that was, yeah.
It's
like, that riff, the lyrics, everything is, that's the song that showed up in my head.
Yeah.
It might be the best song on the album.
It might be.
But I don't want to say it is because that's not what Starset is.
No. Okay.
But it might be the best song.
I can appreciate that.
Ah!
I can appreciate that.
I think we're on the same point. Like,
I get you.
And then I was like 7 out of 10. But I'm like, but it's still the song that I remember.
Yeah. I don't care that it's the popular. Or
We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Don't create music just to create music. Create music to be listened to.
Yeah, no
be popular.
I don't give a shit about, like,
no.
make your song good. I can appreciate you being like, yo, we want to fucking make a fucking 18-minute song. We want to be listened to. Or that we want to make an 18-minute song that plays 3 notes and we do something super experimental. I can appreciate that.
There's only a few bands that can do that and be listened to, like Creedence Clearwater Revival,
but
Queen.
There's nothing wrong with writing a song that people want to listen to.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine too.
Was it the Pascal's scale, it's like what a lot of the Green Day songs are.
It's the fucking thing. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
There's nothing wrong with that. Do it. Do you want to be listened to,
Yeah,
or do you want to be forgotten?
Who gives a shit?
Make a song we want to remember. That's what Fault Line is.
Hanson.
It's good.
Hanson fucking was laughing to the bank.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So then, Solstice. what is Solstice to you then?
Before.
It is the
boring intro and first verse has an interesting pickup. There's a part where he kind of repeats "Take the pain away," and I said, "Indeed, take the pain away." This song
takes the pain away.
Yeah.
But it's still singable.
I don't remember.
It's still singable. Yeah. I don't. This is the worst song on the album.
I think so. This one and "Waking Up."
I
said the outro is cool. It sounds like E.T.'s about to do some cool shit. But then
let's talk about the outros for a second.
I don't remember it all.
As an anxious person, like the steps, like opening doors, like there are moments of that. Like there's like 2 songs where they do that. That shit makes me so anxious. Like, take me to the philosophical parts. Take me to the opening of the album. Like, I want to hear what your thoughts on existence is. Or there's even one part where it's like battery low. Battery low.
Yeah.
And like I want to hear that, but there's one where it's just like him walking and it sounds like the person is trying to get away from a bad experience or something that's maybe kind of scary.
Sure. Like, the whole album seems scary.
I don't know that I would take it that.
Like the fucking, I feel like the ambiance.
The ambience that they tried to round out.
And like
Dystopian for sure.
It's like a scary world. Yeah.
It's not somewhere like you want to be. No, I agree.
So what did you give Solstice?
5 out of 10.
Okay, that seems alright.
Yeah, it was just like if there's a single song in this album that I don't think I can kind of sing the chorus to, it's this one. But then you mentioned like the take away, take my pain away. That's
I just wrote that down. So,
but that is the
I don't
part.
Remember it.
That is, I know it's like that is the part that's memorable about it. That's why you wrote it.
Okay, fair enough.
You had a very good reason to write that. Yeah, battery low. Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
remember in the last episode I told you about the halo sound, that like 100 years forward sound. That's what this album is. It's that digitized voice and vocals.
I get you.
I know what
you mean.
It's like
shield
down.
Yeah.
Something like that you get from the Halo series.
Right, I know what you mean.
That's what it feels like.
Breakdown in Sector 9 or whatever the fuck it is.
Precisely. So
all right,
that is like like a big positive of the album. They do digitization way better. So you said
this one
Trials.
This one is up there for Is this my
These
favorite
trials
song?
make us who we are, who we are.
Yeah.
We are. Yeah,
This one's up there with like, is this my favorite song off the album?
it's the most popular song on the album.
Is
I
it?
will tell you that.
Okay.
Yes.
I could see that. I gave it an 8. First pass through, 8.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. I think the chorus really grew on me. I was like, this song is like pretty heavy. It's got it's pretty good. But this is what I said. I thought I'd like to hear this song without vocals. I'd rather just hear it with no music because it is so close to being a super heavy EDM, almost, you know, like that Carpenter Brute or Midnight Climax or whatever, you know, that horror techno.
I'm doing this because I know every single note of this song.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty close to that, to where you could have this really super cool dance.
This song,
mix. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? So I'd love to
Yeah.
just hear that. Maybe even leave the words in the chorus because I think, you know, that the trials.
I will try to do that
myself.
myself. I think I'm actually
it'd be cool.
technologically capable of taking the vocals out of this song and sending it to you.
Yeah.
This song is
I'd look
great
for it online
music.
first.
It's
It
just
might already be done.
it probably
Yeah.
is. Yeah, you're right. This song is great music. I
Yeah.
give it a 7 out of 10, and I think that's like the snobbiness level. And I'll say it. I'll say it now. Like in the summary for me of this album,
Mm-hmm.
every song on this album for me is like 2 stars higher. I know I put like an 8.5 for one, but for me, this album of theirs, even if it's not the most popular that they have, is like a definitive moment or a definitive summarization of what music is right now. And I don't say that as a summary of the band. I say that as a summary of the soundscape. Heavy digitization with natural sounds, even though a distorted guitar is not a natural sound. But when like the Beatles were doing distorted guitar, was like kind of cutting edge. Like distortion was heavy, it was loud, like that was the metal of the time.
Sure.
And this isn't the metal, but just like the level of digitization is in this song is representative of the generation of music that's occurring.
Okay.
To me, this melts hard rock and digitized music to its like kind of best form. Anyways, my point is that
Watch out, fam. I'm
this
drunk
level of
as a skunk right
digitization
now.
exists in a lot of the other popular music.
Mm-hmm.
Just that level of digitization, but they added it to a futuristic hard rock industrial sound,
Mm-hmm. I'll give you
and it's just like
I'll give you that.
it peaks for me. I mean,
Yeah, the album
between
is
the
by now.
well, there's
It's
part
all
of
goes
that.
down now.
But between you and me and the amount of music that we've listened to, this one is a unique sound. Well, I mean, would you agree to the
Yeah.
degree of digitization?
Yeah. I don't know if digitization is the word I would use.
What would you use?
I
Hashtag first
don't know.
disagreement on the other.
I don't know, like, because when I hear digitization, I think that I'm going to hear more electronic type stuff than what I do.
There's
I think-
a lot of like
But I'm not,
unnatural keyboard sound.
I'm not saying there
and
aren't. I'm not saying there aren't.
augmented.
But that's why I'm not. That's why I say I don't know if digitization is the word I would use. Because I would, and when I hear that, I expect it to sound digitized. Exactly.
Yeah, alright, like MIDI.
Right. I expect
MIDI.
less. Not acoustic.
Okay,
but
it's natural. That's what I'm saying. It is digitally altered to a point where it's not Super Mario Brothers. It's like a dilution of natural sound. But it is, to me, it's heavily digitized.
okay. I would like to hear something not digitized
of theirs.
of anything.
But even Sabaton does that to a large degree. They have a keyboard. They change his voice. Like, even in their first album, they were doing that. They're doing it now. Like, if you want really raw music, you need to go to 1970s country rock. Like,
Right.
that's like your only,
like,
that's like the last thing you can go to.
That's what I'm saying. I think, and at least to me, digitization conjures something different than what you're describing. I understand what you're saying. Because it must, because I'm not picturing what you're saying.
Is this our first real argument?
Yeah, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you if you don't agree with me.
But it's heavily altered. Way more than Sabaton is.
Alright.
But Sabaton is. Alright.
Agree
Okay.
to disagree.
We're at Waking Up. We gotta fly through these.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3 more songs.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Alright, Waking Up, what did you give?
4.
6.5. I liked it. It was
It's not a workout song.
Well, I told you it wasn't.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it while I was at the gym. Or I listened to it while I was in the sauna. Naked in the sauna. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I
It's
just
fine.
like,
I said it's fine, but it's not for listening to while you're at the gym.
I didn't have much to say. Just like futuristic soft rock sound. Yeah. Yeah, and then like the ending of the song freaks me out again. Because
To me,
this is one of the long, like, breathing things.
Yeah. To me, this sounds like a song that the record label asked them to put on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, like, when I think back, I'm like, no, fuck this song. Just take it off the record. Like,
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that. I
Yeah.
don't know why I gave it a 6. It is catchy.
Yeah.
Fuck it, though. Honestly, the next 3 songs,
Other worlds than these.
if you took
I gave it a 6.
If you took all 3 of these last songs off,
I'd be fine.
it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Be alright. No problem.
I mean, they're not like super long songs either.
There's nothing new that these add.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Diving Bell. What did you give Diving Bell?
A 5.
I give it a 7.5. Listen to that song a few more times.
I've probably listened to it like 4 or 5 times.
Listen to it with a special Jeff's ear.
I will say, when I like kind of get lost and don't know what I'm listening to, I can tell when I'm on a different album, because like Spotify it'll finish the album and then it'll go to Division's radio, so it'll play like another Starset song
Of the same vein.
but like just from a different album. So it's like I can tell I'm listening to the same band, but I'm like, this doesn't sound like anything I've listened to. So I know when I've reached the end of the album, because now I'm listening to something new. And I was like, hey, I kind of like that last song. I liked it more than probably a 5, but like,
I'm gonna say something stupid. Their second album is better than this one, but I put this one on the wheel because I thought it was more representative of what music is right now.
I feel you.
And it is still a very good album.
I feel it. All right.
Yeah.
So what'd you give? Let's skip right to the end. What'd you give this thing overall?
7.
7. I gave it 6.5.
Yeah.
I liked this a lot more than I thought I would, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It was a lot more catchy. There was a lot. If I knew the words, I could sing along to a lot more songs than other stuff.
When we rolled
that you
this,
put on there.
I was obviously like still pretty excited, but still like kind of like, oh man, we got another one of my albums.
Yeah.
Like, my albums. I don't want to say.
Go ahead, I'll let you finish.
I don't want to say you are more metal oriented than I am,
But I am.
but you are.
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
I'm a different vein of metal than you are.
yeah, I can get all the way to any metal. There's a printer printing right now. I can get to any level of metal that you have.
But I can't get to yours.
But I don't know that you can get to my level of rock. Yes.
But so I'll say this.
Yeah.
I went into this album. I made a point to go in more open-minded than I have with some of the other ones.
I told you this one would be like
no,
more of your
I know
vein,
you
though.
did, but like not that I didn't believe you, but I intentionally said be more open about it, because I feel like I've been pretty shitty on some of the other ones, and granted some of them have been like way off, like what I would normally listen to.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah, like I get that.
But like I was like,
That's what the wheel is about, though.
Right. so I wanted to try and go into it more open-minded so that I could try and enjoy it more so that I could be more engaged with it in the conversation.
Yeah.
So that was my...
It's telling that you've listened to it more than 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that says it all. Like, this is music worthy of... That's why, like, a 7 for me, I am literally trying to objectively rate these songs. And that's why earlier I said every one of these songs for me is +2 on this in the scheme of things. Because for me, having seen them live, following them from mostly the beginning, and the singability of every single, like, can you go back to any song besides Stoffel on Verklighten that you can sing to?
No, I wouldn't listen to any of those other songs off that album for sure. That was.
I would listen to Witten again and Arrival.
Maybe.
Okay, but that's my point. Like, this album is very singable.
But to that point, I would probably only put like.
It's like Nickelback.
I would probably put only. I've got like There's one playlist of mine that's got like a ton of different stuff. I would probably only put Fault Line and Trials on it. So those are probably the only 2 songs that I would revisit.
Trials is the only song that's made any playlist of mine.
Yeah.
But I still think Fault Line might be the best song.
Yeah.
But then again, like, Telekinetic has the hardest moment, and that's kind of like, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I can wait for it. I can listen to the rest of it to hit that part.
I feel you. All right. Well, that's been fun. Let's grab the wheel.
I rolled last time.
No, I rolled last time.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure.
You did roll last time because you rolled like a motherfucker. It was hard and in charge.
Let's see. This is where it was. We've replaced Starset with Amon Amarth's most recent release, Berserker.
Can I just like roll right now?
Yeah, I mean, give it a fucking heave.
No, I just rolled.
No, that doesn't count.
God damn it.
No.
It doesn't count.
You gotta,
but like, that's how I feel
You
about
gotta
it.
at least do a full rotation.
It's always 3.
What? I don't laugh if it is Berserker.
That'd be awesome. It's not, though.
Oh my god!
Shit!
Oh my god!
Ding, ding,
It
ding,
happened.
ding, ding.
It happened.
What is the current adult?
Contemporary. Alright, so this was...
That does not say contemporary. It says counter. It doesn't even say counter. It says contemporary.
Contempt, because I ran out of space.
You could have done a dash.
I could have, but I didn't want to do it.
You fucking savage.
Current
adult contemporary. I'm
album.
very excited about this.
I know, this is super
Yeah, I know,
exciting.
because it's a wild card. What is it?
I don't need...
Does
Adult
Google have it
Contemporary
right?
Billboard. So adult contemporary
Ooh.
number 1 is currently Adele, Easy on Me. So let's do whatever Adele's most recent album is.
Let's do it!
Fuck yeah,
I love
high
Adele!
five. Oh, yeah. So for next week, Jeff and I are going to do whatever Adele's most recent album is. Alright, so Adele's most recent album is called 30, and it was released in 2021.
Bro, do you remember when they released her completely musicless SNL song? I think it was the Hello song.
No.
And they released it with no music, just her vocals. And it's like, it gives you chills because you're just like, that's it. That's her voice completely naked. No digitization.
Okay.
No music. Just her singing. And,
yeah.
And you're just like, you want to just bow down. And
Yeah, she's great.
Worship
She's
her.
fantastic.
Yes.
I can't wait.
I've actually listened to an entirety of whatever album Hello is on. I've listened to that
It's probably
entire
this
album.
one.
I hope it is. If it is, because I mean, all right. I just want to say there have been misses on Mastering Mediocrity, but that was like
the worst.
that was the worst one. There's been dribbles.
Weirdo.
Hey, I stopped the flow. A very good muscular reflexes.
All right, I'm pumped, man.
That's different.
It
It
is.
does feel good,
It
doesn't
does.
it? You know what? You can always do weird things if it's with a friend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because you're not gonna do well. Some people do weird people with weird people, which is to say they do weird people with people they don't know, which is weird.
And on that note, this has been Mastering Mediocrity Music Reviews. Before we get out of here, I'm Ben. That's Jeff. Let's do the shot, buddy. Cheers, mate. Woo! Hit the like, hit the subscribe, fucking smash the bell, call your mom. Let's get the fuck out of here.